So let's begin with our wonderful opportunity to sit together in our separate spaces, but here we are, a sangha of practitioners. And this opportunity to stay put for 40 minutes, to bring the attention to the simplicity, to the presence, to the immanence of this moment. Closing the eyes, beginning to feel out what is here for us, what can be experienced. Attending to the body, such kindness to give time, to give space, to pay attention to this body, to this breath. So let's begin. Hopefully our mindfulness is being cultivated and it's with us. Whatever the body's doing, whatever is happening for us, but this is our time to develop bhāvanā, to really give attention, full attention to mental development, to bhāvanā, to samadhi, to meditation. The Buddha is inviting us to consider the body in this way. Consider the parts of the body. Consider what it's made up of. So I'd like to offer a little guidance and an invitation to consider this teaching of the Buddha. And I'm simply going to speak out the parts of the body given to us in this contemplation, and see for yourselves how one can observe, feel, perhaps, note, perhaps, have a sense of place. As I mentioned, these parts of the body. And I'd like to invite you all to consider them separately. And I'll give some guidance to help us to do that. But first we can sit quietly for another minute or two to arrive, to settle, to bring awareness to the fore. Coming in to the body, body sitting. And as we continue our meditation, let's consider this body from the top of the head right down to the soles of the feet as a sealed bag of skin. Filled with various organs, parts, aspects with their different functions. And first we can consider the earthy, the solid, the weighty, the formed. Consider the hair of the head. Perhaps bringing the attention to the scalp area and see how it feels. And contemplate this head hair. Perhaps the warmth it offers. Perhaps in some places the touch of the hair. Dead material, earth element, hair of the head. We can extend our attention over the whole body and consider the hair of the body, long or short, thick or thin, in all the different places. Some hairy places, some smooth places. But always the hairs are there, except for the palms and the soles of the feet. Providing perhaps some warmth, sensation around the follicles of the hairs. Scattered all around the skin. Providing protection, easing friction in different places. Hair of the body. Now let's consider the nails, toenails, fingernails, earth element, solid, protective, inert. Can we feel them? Can we feel around them? Nails. Let's bring the attention to the teeth. So solid, so hard. Feeling around them, the gums, inside of the mouth. teeth. With each of these body parts, let's consider them individually, separately. So if we're separating them out and really examining, how is it? What are these teeth? And now we can consider the skin, the sealed bag, the envelope, the surface, all that we see when we look at another, and how sensitive and how alive it is for us. Feeling around the body, this protective layer, the top. And what is it really like if we take it off, look at it on its own? Skin. Let's bring our attention underneath the skin. Consider the flesh, the muscles, the meat, full of blood, red, holding the body together. And we can feel the muscles, can't we? Holding us up, giving the body shape. Sometimes tense, knotted, sometimes uncomfortable. Moving the attention around the body, allowing those muscles to relax, and visualizing how they are, how they look. What is it like just under the skin? Considering the fat, the membranes, the sinews there. All these tissues. Let's consider them part of this body. So clearly not something we normally identify with. And we don't really consider this to be me or mine. These various aspects, so helpful to consider them separately and see the impersonal nature here. The perhaps recognition that the attractiveness on the surface of the skin, of the musculature, is just an appearance, literally superficial. Good to take it apart and see things as they really are. Let's go deeper into the framework of the body, the bones, the skeleton. Solid mass of bones working together to give this body its shape, its form. Can we feel the bones? We can sense them, can't we? Just allow the attention to move through the body with this recognition of the skeleton. The last part to disintegrate after death. It seems least changeable of all the body parts, but actually going inside to the bone marrow, hive of activity, producing cells, blood cells. We can't feel it, but we can consider, contemplate bone marrow. Anicca, constantly changing. Anatta, not self, not me, not mine. None of these body parts lend themselves to a sense of me when taken separately. How helpful to divide and dissect and analyze the situation here. I'd like to invite you to bring the attention to the trunk of the body, the chest, the belly. Consider the kidneys at the back, lumbar region. Constant change, processing fluid, bringing it to the bladder at the front. We can't feel them perhaps, but let's consider these organs sitting a whole life doing this incredible work. Kidneys. Some of us may have eaten kidneys, seen kidneys on a plate, cooked. Same kidneys. Firm and sort of chewy, quite solid structure. And here they are in this body. Let's consider the heart, muscle, constantly beating, contracting, expanding, pumping. Can we feel it? Can we place it in the chest, just to the left, somewhere down there? Is there a heaviness there? Is there movement there? Let's consider the heart. Center. Seat of emotions, perhaps. Let's see. Considering the heart alone, removed from the body, how is that? And the lungs. We feel the lungs as they move with the breath. Also solid, but there's air element moving through, water element flowing through the lungs. What can we feel here? And we can consider the lungs on their own, separate, outside of the body. Sacs, bloody, full of spaces. Just a kind of mess, really. And here they are inside this chest, doing this incredible work, keeping us alive, enabling us to practice. Let's move the attention down below the rib cage. On the left, the spleen. On the right, the liver. In the middle, the stomach. These organs sitting, constantly working in a way, processing so much anicca, so much change. Heat, flow, and earth element, weight and solidity here. Considering these organs separately and their place in this body. And moving further down, following the stomach, digestive system, the intestines and the bowels. Long tube winding around the abdomen, constantly moving the feces, the food, which turns to feces through. Exchange of energy going on all the time. Can we feel it? Can we feel the guts? Maybe little movements or some gas, some air from time to time. Sometimes uncomfortable. We know they're there. And we feel them now. We feel what's going on inside the belly. And let's consider all those guts outside of the body. Just a long, like a piece of string, hollow piece of string, or hollow tube. Not something we identify with. Quite easy to appreciate, not self here. Not me, not mine. Body parts, constantly changing, moving, keeping us alive. Considering inside the guts, the food we eat. If we've had a meal recently, just considering what's inside the stomach, churning around and being slowly digested with heat and acid, how it changes. The undigested food, as it moves down, getting covered in various enzymes and bile, salts, this incredible chemical process going on. extracting and changing, and slowly it turns into feces. Considering the feces are not just things that appear when we go to defecate, but lodged in the body, appearing slowly. Slowly sort of compacting and solidifying in the bowel until they're ready to be eliminated. Body has all of this going on, all of this inside of us, inside of this form. Not often something we consider. Good to contemplate this aspect of body also. And from these solid parts, predominantly earth element, we can move to more subtle considerations, reflecting, remembering that there's also many kinds of liquid, predominantly water element, making up this body. Let's consider the bile as it comes out of the gallbladder, this green, acidy, strong tasting substance. We can't feel it, but we can consider this is part of the body. Sometimes when we vomit, we might taste bile. We might have had that experience, bitter. Considering bile. Considering phlegm. How we produce this kind of moisture from the lungs, from the throat. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the state of the body. Phlegm. Considering nasal mucus. We really pay attention to this if we have a cold or a flu. It can be excessive. But all the time, a little bit being produced here and there. We blow our noses from time to time. It's easy not to consider this as me or mine. This stuff that comes out, we just want to get rid of it, hide it away. Hope there's no little bits left behind, hanging out of the nostrils. Nasal mucus. Part of this body. Consider blood. We can consider pus. Two closely related. Can we feel the flow of the blood? Can we feel the energy it brings to all the different parts of the body? Giving us color, giving us warmth, pulsation, perhaps here and there. We're full of blood. We open up the body in any way, the knife or however, it pours forth, doesn't it? And so we're really full of this red substance. Let's consider this aspect of the body, the blood, the pus. Also liquid fat. When we see meat that's been cooked, the fat is kind of solidified. The rind of the bacon, and so on. But inside the body, a live body, it's liquid, coating, insulating, padding out these bodies. Some have more, some have less. For women, the breast tissue, great lumps of fat around the belly, around the thighs. Can we feel it? Can we feel its kind of volume of it, or the warmth of it? Considering fat as a separate body part, not attractive to us. Sometimes we can be attracted by shapes, body shapes, but we can consider in this contemplation what they're really made of. Flesh, fat, skin. Consider the tears, feeling the moisture around the eyes, lubricating. The saliva in the mouth, always moist, swallowing at regular intervals, pumping into the mouth from the salivary glands. Considering saliva. And where else is there moisture? In the joints, between the bones. Encapsulated liquid to allow the movement of the big joints, knees, where the thigh bones meet the hips, and so forth. Fluid of the joints, synovial fluid. We can't feel it, but we can notice the ease of movement it allows. That we can bend and sit like this. The flexibility we have. Fluid of the joints. And lastly, let's consider urine, that which we excrete, the fluid that comes out from the genital area, and the bladder that contains it. We might be able to feel the bladder. We certainly can sometimes, telling us it's time to go to the toilet. Let's consider urine. We're programmed to feel averse in a way, or repelled by the excretory products like urine, like feces, like nasal mucus. But this is our chance to really just consider, what actually are they? What are they really like? Are they disgusting? Are they any more disgusting than the skin or the hair? Is there anything really here that's disgusting or beautiful? This practice of body contemplation, the parts of the body, gives us a chance to see clearly. Neither beautiful nor ugly. We can make peace with all the kind of programming that we have, the kind of responses we may have to different parts of the body in different contexts. And just see body as body, body parts as body parts. And so dispassion arises for us. Peaceful, calm, clear, cool, dispassion, letting go, putting it down, letting it be. I'd like to invite all of us to maybe consider going through these different body parts. We can sit quietly for some time now, 10 minutes or so, to continue this meditation practice. We can slowly, taking time, just emerge from the formal practice time, opening the eyes, and here we are. Noticing any sense of a transition that you may have, moving from a certain kind of mindfulness to another kind of mindfulness. And so good to allow the attention to actually remain in the body in some way, maybe the weight of the body or the eyes blinking or the temperature in the room, whatever you can feel, to see if we can maintain body awareness. It's very doable, isn't it? Even as we're listening, looking around, paying attention to other things.